What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. Okay, let's waste no time at all. Here we are, sitting at $101.8 thousand right now. We have 20 hours and 41 minutes left in this day, the 29th of January. It has just begun. We closed yesterday a little bit to the downside, 7.9% to the downside. After yesterday, or the day before's crazy volatile day, the last 48 hours have been pretty volatile, haven't they? I mean, we dropped out, we pulled back, we're pulling back from the pullback. What are we doing, right? Bitcoin's just can't make up its mind right now. It does look like what we've done was we had this diamond pattern here, right? It looks like a diamond. Oh, that was not perfect at all. Diamond pattern right there. It looks like we've broken out from it. And then all we did was back test the breakout and go through. Now with diamond patterns, it's very common to have a high velocity move and then pull back through where you broke out from. It's very, and generally speaking, it's high velocity out, high velocity back. It's just high velocity all around the diamond, right? Diamond patterns are known for this. So breaking out like this and then pulling back without pulling back to the breakout point does have me a little bit concerned that we could go lower. It's very possible, right? And in fact, if we were to measure the measure move of this diamond pattern from a low to a high here, from the breakout point, the measure move itself would take us all the way down to about $95.5 thousand, which, if you guys remember, that's actually falling right in the golden zone, the golden retracement zone of this low to high here. It's literally perfect right in the golden retracement zone right there. If I put a line at the measure move, and the measure move, again, is just an idea. Just because this is the technical measure move of the pattern, it absolutely is right here at about $95.5 thousand right there. That doesn't mean we have to hit it. Right, this could have been it. That could have been the breakout move, and we fell short of our measure move by that much. That could have been it, and now we're working higher. Just because the measure move is down there does not mean we have to move down there. The only reason why we're talking about it at all and not talking about the upside like we were talking about yesterday is because we didn't get the follow through that we were looking for. We were expecting this move, yes, but we were expecting it to continue to go through and break through this breakout point. I was not expecting that we would not even hit the breakout point and then fall back to the 382 here. Now, it's fine. It's totally fine being at the 382 here. But just understand that on a 4-hour basis, if and when we start closing below 101.2K, we start closing below this 382, this area that we're finding support on now, an area that we found resistance on here before we moved up, an area that we found support back here, and even resistance back here, when we break through this somewhat of a key area, we likely will see prices lower than this. And do we have reason to go down there? Well, we've got the golden ratio. We've got previous areas of resistance that could be confirmed as support. It would be a higher low overall. It's not a bad look. And then you also have the measure move of the overall diamond pattern that you've just broken out of, right? So it makes a lot of sense. It makes sense, I feel like, at least on 3 different fronts to go down. But there's still a chance that we could hold here. I would say as long as you're not closing below this line at 101.2K. And if you close at like 101,000, if you close at $101,195, I guess it's okay. But if you break through this level, is what I'm saying, something like this, a little bit more pronounced, but to the downside, likely we're not going to stop until we see prices below 96.5K, but above 95K, and that measure move takes us right there. If we look at our RSI, let's see if we can make sense out of it. I mean, look at the RSI. It's also calling for some downside. Yesterday we were oversold. We were looking in this area that we've been oversold before, right? And we work our way out of it each time, every single time. This time we were expecting the same thing, and maybe we will in time work our way out of it. But perhaps what we do is we come down, we form a higher low here in the RSI, and that gives us a lower low on the price, which also gives us bullish divergence, bouncing out of the golden ratio. Powerful bottoming signals, and beyond everything else, as powerful as that is for a bounce, as powerful as that would be for a move up and to bounce there, the most powerful thing, the most powerfully bullish thing about this drop going lower than this low is everybody, every single person in the crypto space is going to think the bull market's over, right? And generally speaking, it's whenever people are starting to call for the top, even if the bull market is over, whenever people start to call for the top to be in, that's when we start to reverse, right? When people start to get a consensus of how things should be, the opposite tends to happen. It's not always like that. If you think every single time that when the market is bullish, that means that the market has to go down, you're going to miss out on some pumps, because some of the best pumps actually happen when there is a consensus that we're about to go up, right? The most unexpected pumps, the ones that are the most erratic and eruptive, those do happen unexpectedly, right? They definitely do. But some of the best movements that we see are when we're all just kind of looking at each other going like, you ready? Are you ready to go up? It's bull market time. Here we go. I don't think we're at that point yet. And that's kind of that's what I'm trying to say is I think that this will actually create the opposite effect. It'll create that kind of panic. Everybody's worried. You'll probably see a lot of panic selling down here. Great capitulative moment at a great area of support for all the reasons we've talked about in this video. And likely, beyond all that, we would have bullish divergence, a very powerful bottoming signal on the 4 hour. The 4 hour RSI is not the most powerful or respected time frame, but it's pretty significant. A lot of people do look at the 4 hour time frame. So I suppose right now, I don't know what to call for. Are we moving down? Are we moving up? I know this video might make it seem like I'm calling for us to move down, but I would only comfortably say that we're moving down if we had a 4 hour to close below this level. And we got really close to it on our last 4 hour candle. We have 35 minutes left in this one. But if we bounce from here and we go up and we close above 104.2, then this is wrong. We're not going down there. We're going up. This is just a detour on an overall move that we were originally expecting when we were at these lows. So I'm not saying that this is off the table yet. I'm just saying that this was not part of the expectation. So now we have to throw some other things that weren't part of the expectation into the loop. Does that make sense, right? So I guess at this point, unfortunately, I wish I made this video maybe 4 hours later, but I'm asleep, dead in the night at that point, unless my daughter's kicking me in the face. She's 2, so sometimes if she cries, we co-sleep. Me, my wife, my daughter. Some people are okay with that, some people aren't. I don't know, man. We're animals. All animals co-sleep. It makes sense. They actually, on a whole nother note, there actually is neurological benefits and psychological benefits that there are plenty of studies done on it that come with co-sleeping. To each their own. If you don't want to do that, that's your thing. Whatever. It's all good. Independence is a good thing too. My daughter's independent as hell, man. And she co-sleeps. But anyways, if I was making this video while I normally sleep or I'm getting kicked in the face, maybe I would know that we're getting a bounce or that we're going through this, either way. So whoever you are watching this video, hopefully by the time that you're watching this, we have a little resolution here. Watch for a close on a 4 hour basis below 101.2K or a close above 104.2K. We get either of those, that will determine we're moving up higher. We're gonna go to 120K in less than a week. We're gonna go lower. We're probably gonna go to 96 to 95K in about a day or two, right? I don't assume that the move down will take too long. In fact, I would expect it's very sharp and erratic and something that would scare people, right? Even though we're clearly in an uptrend, even though even a low like this is just a higher low and it's actually not a bad thing, okay? Even though it's totally expected and normal constructive behavior. So if we see this, I would expect that it happens within the next day or two, maybe 3, certainly by the end of the week. That would mean we find our low at a very good area by the end of this week. And if that happens, then my expectations of this week being the week that we break out to new all-time highs, they would be postponed until next week, unfortunately, which to me, that would just make for a very lackluster January, right? Because that would imply then that it would be February that we're moving up. I don't know. I suppose if we bounce here, I suppose we could move up by the end of this. I mean, by the end of the month, if we were to do that, there's no way we'd be at new all-time highs, which means that we'd be at best around 100K by the end of the month. And that would just be a very lackluster January in comparison to what Bitcoin's historically done, right? Especially in these kind of conditions. So I don't know. I don't know what to think, man. I guess I'll end it there. I don't know what to think. Hopefully you'll know by the time you see this video. If we're above 101.2K, or sorry, if we're below 101.2K, we're going down to 96 to 95K. If we're above 104.2K, we're breaking out to new all-time highs. Likely we don't stop until we're around 120K or even 130K, and ultimately the final destination is somewhere around, I would say, $150,000 to $180,000, and I expect that to happen by the end of February. If not, I mean, if this takes longer, it's just going to push that time frame back, right? The move is going to take as long as it takes, and we've been predicting that it would take anything from like 3 to 6 weeks, probably 4 to 7 weeks, actually, if I remember correctly, based on what we've seen all these moves do. And if we were to start this move instead of by the end of this month, instead of right now, if we were to start this move, sometime at the end of this week or the beginning of next week in February, then it is possible that this move doesn't top in February. It could top in March. And that's fine if it does. There's reasons to top in March, but we'll see how it goes from there. We'll know better by tomorrow. The 4-hour time frame to me does suggest that we'd go lower, but that's what, man, if you move up here, you're breaking out of this downtrend. That would suggest that you're turning things around. The 1-hour time frame kind of suggests that we might go higher, actually. I don't know. Curious to see. I really don't have a preference as to where we're going to go. If I had to guess, I'm reluctant to do it. Okay, I'm reluctant to do it. But if I had to guess, if I had to pick a side, I'm going, and I feel like I could be wrong on this, but I'm going to go with what I saw on the 1-hour time frame and what I think is going to happen on the 4-hour. I think we bounce here. I think we're moving up. At the risk of being wrong, and today or by the end of today or tomorrow, we're down at these targets that I could have called for and been gloriously right. Who cares, right? Hopefully you're just prepared for that if it happens. That's what I care about. If not, I'm going to stick with my call here. And if I am right, guess what? I'm not going to care about that either. I don't who cares about being right or wrong? It doesn't matter. We're going to be excited at the very least if we break above 104.2K, right? So I got nothing else for you guys. If you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Take it easy. Bitcoin precariously placed. We will soon make our heading. Probably by the end of today, we'll know where we're going. Okay, bye.